Happy Thanksgiving Eve, North Central Washington. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, Wenatchee Valley. It is the 27th day of November 2019. It's Wednesday. I'm Dan Kuntz. It's snowing. It's blowing. It feels like winter is already here. Yeah, it kind of started coming down lightly 4:30-ish or so. By about 5 o'clock when I got to the office, it was still snowing lightly. I went back outside about 5:20 and it was coming down pretty good, and it continues to come down pretty good. Not only is it snowing here on the valley floor, it is blowing around too. It's very blustery. We're in for a very interesting day. The National Weather Service issued a winter weather advisory early this morning. It's on right now. It'll go until midnight tonight here in the Wenatchee Valley. We're looking at 2 to 4 inches of snow on the valley floor down by the Columbia. We're going to get a couple of inches, they think, and it's going to be blowing around, as I already mentioned. Upper elevations around the Wenatchee Valley, the foothills that surround our area, upwards of 4 inches. Waterville could get 6 or 7 inches of snow, and up there in Waterville, everybody's going to be dealing with some strong winds, gusts above 30 miles an hour. We could have gusts above 50 miles an hour in the Waterville area. This is absolutely crazy, yeah. Just a heads up, if you plan on traveling on Blewett Pass this morning, you're not. It's closed. It's closed in both directions. They had blowing snow, poor visibility, spin-outs, disabled semis. They shut it down. Blewett Pass is getting quite a bit of snow. All of the major mountain passes are getting some snow right now, but it's got so bad on Blewett that they shut it down. We don't know when it's going to reopen. We'll take you through the passes here in just a couple of minutes. Also, that very important weather forecast. Lots to talk about weather-wise, as you might imagine. Also, we have news, including a report from last night's Wenatchee School Board meeting. They went from 5 members to 3 members, just like that. So they have a quorum, but barely. We'll talk about that. We got some footage from last night's Wenatchee School Board meeting to talk about, and everything else you need to know to start your Wednesday. Sports. We've got a lot of sports to talk about, including we'll previewing the Seattle Seahawks Monday night game against Minnesota and some high school scores to pass along to you. We also have Today in History, some celebrity birthdays, the obscure holiday. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minardi's opinion. Normally we do Kennel Cameos on Thursday, but we won't be here tomorrow. We're off on Thanksgiving, so we're going to do Kennel Cameos a day early, see if we can get Rocky the dog home. We'll talk about the Campbell's Destination Deal, the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive, and one more visit with our friend Renee Ressler, who is the Assistant Director of Journey to Bethlehem, which happens next week. It's December 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. We wanted to plant that seed for you one more time. We'll play that interview back in the back half of the hour. 3 minutes after the hour, whatever views we're going to show you this morning on our PTZ cameras, we're going to show, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not much. In fact, right now, the cross camera is completely, that's it. That's what we're seeing from the tip of Wenatchee Heights. You can make out that little bump down there at the bottom, but that's it. That's what we're seeing because the snow is coming down. It's coming down at a pretty good clip, and again, it's blowing around well. So there's really nothing to see from our cross camera, but we're going to show it to you anyway because that's the current conditions. We figure it's the right thing to do. Camera 2, I don't know what we're going to be looking at. Megan probably had a work cut out for her today. Oh, thank you, Megan. That's good. We can see something there. What is it we're looking at, Megan? Oh, that's the McNeil Canyon. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I got it now. So somewhere out there is Lake Chelan. Normally you can see Lake Chelan from this view. You can't today. Obviously, McNeil Canyon is going to be getting quite a bit of snow, more here, up McNeil Canyon than we're going to have here in the Wenatchee Valley. And as I mentioned before, 2 inches on the valley floor, 4 inches of snow could be in the upper elevations around the Wenatchee Valley, say the East Wenatchee Bench. Chelan, you could get 3 or 4 inches of snow today, more than the Wenatchee Valley. Camera number 3. Let's see if we can, yeah, there's the downtown. That's the Cascadian camera on top of the Cascadian Hotel. That's Mission Street that we're looking at. As you can see, the snow is not sticking to the roadway. It is blowing around, though, pretty good. So right now, the morning commute's okay. Of course, this is an extremely heavily traveled day today. We'll tell you the best times and the worst times to hit the roads when we do the news. All of these views courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet. Right now, the winds are, let me look here real quick. Northeast wind, consistent at 16 miles an hour, gusting to 23 miles an hour. And finally, camera 4 is another view. Oh, the other Cascade. That's right. We have a couple of cameras on the Cascadian. I forgot about that. Looking down on Wenatchee Avenue. You can see Bob's Classic down there. You can see the American Legion Post number 10 Hall, the KPQ building there to your right. Again, the snow is not sticking to the streets. A lot of people taking the day off today, and they're probably really glad that they did. But if you are traveling over the mountain passes, That's just crazy. Look at that. Look at the wind. Look at the snow come down. Yeah. Ew. Get used to it. A couple of inches here on the Wenatchee Valley. Thank you, Megan. Good work. Again, we had limited camera availability. We had lots of cameras. We got about, I don't know, 60 of them or so, but there's only so much we can show. All right. From Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, they give your home a hug. From the National Weather Service, here's what we're looking at. Again, a winter weather advisory is in effect. It was supposed to start at 10 a.m. this morning, and they said to heck with it. We'll just make it start right now. It's going to be all day today. It goes to midnight tonight. Snow and blowing snow is what we're looking at. We're going to show, we got 3 graphs to show you. First of all, how windy it's going to be today, and there you go. Look at the directional of the wind and where it's coming from. It's coming from the northeast, blowing to the southwest. We're going to have gusts above, 30 miles an hour at times today. The consistent wind's going to be right around 14, 15, 16 miles an hour. Gusts above 30 at times. Again, up in Waterville, you can see gusts as high as 55 miles an hour on the Waterville Plateau and any kind of exposed area similar to the Waterville Plateau. Very strong gusty winds up there and blowing snow. So not only going to be dealing with some snow today, but very windy conditions. The travel impacts today, well, not real easy. Yeah, the Highway 97 from Chelan to Wenatchee, either side of the river. We could have some snow sticking to the roadway there. Shaston to Blewett Pass. Again, Blewett Pass is closed right now. Waterville to Stevens Pass. You're going to be dealing with some snow, blowing snow, reduced visibility. Just giving you a heads up on that. And finally, it's going to be cold on Thanksgiving. Take a look at where the jet stream is. Look at the storm track. That is way out of alignment. Looks like a giant button hook, doesn't it? And look at that big mass of cold air just all over the western United States. The Sierras in California, Nevada, they're expecting a couple of feet of snow today. Not for us. In fact, even the mountain passes are going to get some snow, but they may have even less snow than we have. Kind of a strange weather phenomenon. So again, winter weather advisory is in effect now until midnight tonight. On the Wenatchee Valley floor, upwards of a couple of inches before this baby is all said and done. Upper elevations around the Wenatchee area, upwards of 4 inches, and that includes the Chelan area. You could get upwards to 4 inches. Antioch, places like that. And up in the Waterville Plateau, 6 to 7 inches possible. And again, going to be blowing around. So visibility is going to be substantially poor today. Most of the snow, they think, will actually be coming down later on this afternoon. Again, windy at times. We're going to top off at about 32 degrees. Snow should be tapering off about 10 or 11 tonight. Still got some blowing snow. Overnight low of about 22. Still blustery overnight tonight. The winds will be dying down early on Thanksgiving. We can wake up tomorrow, Thursday, with a little bit of light snow. It should be done by 9 or 10 in the morning. The winds will be dying down. It's going to be cloudy and it's going to be cold, only about 32 degrees. Mostly cloudy early Thursday night. And then overnight Thursday into Friday, the clouds clear out. It's going to be very chilly, 14 for the overnight low, and then that cold air. You saw that graphic. It's going to be stuck right here for quite some time. We're looking at sunshine Friday and a high of 31. Sunshine Saturday, high of about 32. Very chilly overnight lows. And then some weak weather systems are expected Saturday night into Sunday. We'll be dealing with some patchy freezing fog, lots of clouds, some light flurries, but at least it will warm up just a little bit. So there you go. Lots going on. Mountain passes, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Blue Pass is closed, and it has been for about the last 90 minutes or so. We'll start out with I-90. Snoqualmie, not bad right now. Traction tires, let me look here. Traction, no advisories, no restrictions. Roadway is pretty much bare and wet, as you can see, and there's already a lot of traffic on I-90, and it's going to get worse as the day goes on. Stevens Pass is your other alternate right now. Traction tires are advised there. They have some compact snow and ice on the roadway. The situation on Stevens has deteriorated rather rapidly in the last hour or so. It was not that bad about 6 o'clock this morning. Now here it is at 10 minutes after 7, and they now have a traction tire advisory. It is snowing, as you might imagine, and it's blowing pretty good, and there you go. Nobody's going anywhere on Blewett. It's closed, has been for about an hour and a half. It's closed right at the summit. They got poor visibility. They have heavy snow. They have blocking traffic. They have disabled semis. They got it all. We do not know when Blewett Pass will reopen. Before this show is over, by the way, we'll take one more look at the weather forecast and the pass reports before we wrap up this program. But we got lots to get to, including the news. That's 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 1 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Winter is here, and CVCH wants to give your child a free sled to help them stay active. This January, plan to join us for a free event for the whole family. Free sleds, hot chocolate, and fun. For complete details, visit the CVCH Facebook page or check us out at cvchchillout.com.
Hi, my name is Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group, formerly known as Senior Insurance Services. And we recently decided to make that name change because we're offering so many different other types of insurances in addition to Medicare education and enrollment like we've been doing for 15 years. So if you have questions about Medicare or any other forms of insurances, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group, 888-2600, or visit us at any of our 5 locations.
We're back just about 12 minutes after the hour. We have 30 degrees. It is snowing in most of north central Washington, as you might imagine. It's also windy. Northeast winds about 60 miles an hour, gusting above 20. We have a winter weather advisory all day today. It is set to expire at midnight for the Wenatchee Valley. About 2 inches of snow on the lower elevations, upper elevations around the valley, nearly 4 inches. The Waterville Plateau could be dealing with up to 6 inches of snow today, and Blewett Pass is currently closed. Here's what's making headlines this morning. It was a smaller than expected Wenatchee School Board who swore in their new members last night. So between one resignation and one seat that was thrown into doubt by an unexpected election victory, only 3 of the 5 board seats are currently filled. Of course, Tim Larson won election over Karina Vega Vela, but Larson recently moved to Kashmir and he can't serve. He had this to say before declining to take office.
I'd like to thank the community for their vote of confidence. I'd like to thank those who helped me make the decision not to take the seat on the Wenatchee School Board. With the resignation of Sarah Knox, the board at once now has the opportunity to select 2 new board members before January 1st, which will cause less distraction to the board as the board moves forward in 2020. I would like to dispel any rumors that I somehow intentionally gamed the system to win this position. That is not who I am. I am simply a community-minded person who had a desire to give back to his community for all that his community has given me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So what's next? Well, the board has to take steps to fill the 2 vacancies, and they'll do it, of course, by appointment. Both positions will be posted for interested applicants. The sitting board members will hold interviews on January 9th. The new members are set to be named on January 10th. We'll have more on this, by the way, on the evening news tonight with Grant Olson. A 70-year-old Palisades man was convicted Monday on multiple charges of child molestation. After a 2-day trial, a Douglas County jury took 5 hours and they found James William Cook Sr. guilty on 5 counts, including 2 first-degree charges. Deputies arrested Cook in October of 2018 after disclosures from 2 children who said he molested them multiple times last year. Cook, who'd been free on a $100,000 bond since his arrest, was ordered back to the Okanagan County Jail after the Monday verdict. He will be sentenced on December 23rd. He could face more than 7 years in prison on each count. Well, anti-tax activist Tim Eyman made it official on Monday, formally announcing his candidacy for Washington governor. Eyman, who has led numerous state initiative drives, said he's running as an independent, and if elected, he vows to veto any tax increases. Yesterday, Tim Eyman was in a Seattle courtroom listening to a challenge to I-976. That's the $30 card tab initiative that was narrowly approved by voters this month. He criticized both the judge and Attorney General Bob Ferguson, who is constitutionally required to defend the initiative. He called for all Washington drivers to refuse to renew their vehicle tabs as Seattle, Ferguson, and the judge, and I'm quoting now, conspire and collude to destroy our democracy, end quote. Governor Jay Inslee, of course, is seeking a third term in the 2020 election. Well, it's become a holiday tradition, not a particularly fun one. We're talking about traffic on the mountain passes. It's expected to be stop and go at times for Thanksgiving travelers this year. The worst time for Snoqualmie Pass today and again Saturday and Sunday, depending, of course, on what direction you're driving. Today, the heaviest traffic expected between 1 and 5 o'clock eastbound on I-90. Things will stay relatively calm until Saturday. That's when things are expected to get bad westbound on I-90 from noon to 3 o'clock. Now, Sunday will be crowded both east and westbound on I-90 in the afternoon hours. By the way, US 2 Stevens Pass should be easier going. Moderate to heavy traffic today and the weekend afternoons. And of course, with Blue Pass being closed right now, you don't really have a lot of alternatives. It could be even worse if there was snow in the passes, and there is. So there you go. Could be in for a long trip in the mountain passes today and then again on Sunday, depending on what direction you're going. If you waited to the very last minute to mail in your ballot on Election Day or before Election Day, it probably didn't get counted because it was too late. The November 6th general election was certified earlier this week by the Chelan County Canvassing Board. Doug England said hundreds of ballots were discarded because of a late postmark.
And what we're pretty sure is happening is that people are dropping it in the mailbox well within work hours, but after the time that that box is picked up. And even then, the mail goes all the way to Spokane and then comes all the way back. And we threw away an awful lot of ballots that were dated on the 6th that appear to be mailed in time, but we have no proof of that. And so we have to, no matter what the ballot is dated inside, we have to go by the postmark. And it's a concern that we have, and hope to look into it to get more either agreement with the post office that there'll be some kind of arrangement to get those postmarked early rather than having to go all the way to Spokane. But an understanding from the public that the safest place is to either mail it early or to put it in the numerous drop boxes that are around.
Now, in Douglas County, Auditor Thad Duvall says 56 ballots were thrown out because the postmark was too late. He recommends voters, if you're going to mail your ballot, do so no later than the weekend before the election. And that's what's making news at 18 minutes after the hour. It's going to be a busy news day for the guys and the gals in the newsroom, as you might imagine. With a preview of tonight's news, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'll be talking some very cold wind chills in your complete north central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will be in with a look at all of the day's sports action. That and much more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. Hope to see you then. Dan?
We appreciate it, Grant. Once again, a reminder, it is blowing, it is snowing, it's 30 degrees. We are expecting about 2 inches of snow here on the valley floor, 4 inches in the upper elevations around the Wenatchee Valley. Waterville could get 6 or 7 inches of snow. It's a possibility, and it's going to be blowing snow most of the day. Today, and Blue Pass remains closed. No word on when it will reopen. A reminder, the news with Grant Olson at 5, 6, and 10, and you can be a part of it. You got a news tip? You just want to say hi? We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. We give you all the tools necessary. Our Facebook page is a great way to go. Go to our Facebook page, like us while you're there if you haven't already. Drop us a line via the Facebook Messenger. You can go to our website at ncwlife.com. You'll see the Contact Us icon at the very top of the page. Click on it, fill out the form, send it, and we'll get it. If you want to pick up the telephone and give us a call, we have a news tip hotline. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. Or you can email us, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got sports, the obscure holiday. We have today in history. We got some celebrity birthdays. Everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. We got Kennel Cameos, and we got Journey to Bethlehem. It's coming up next week. It's a busy Wednesday. Don't go anywhere. Sports is 1 minute away. Watch you wake up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, it's Brent Rhodes from the KKRV Big Show.
And Eric Granstrom from the NCW Life channel.
The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive is back.
Join us for our kickoff event at Hooked on Toys Saturday, November 30th, beginning at 10 a.m.
Leaders of our recipient organizations will be there, and they can explain how your donations get to kids in the Wenatchee Valley who need our help.
It's the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive kickoff Saturday at Hooked on Toys with the NCW Life channel
and Country 104.7 KKRV.
Town Nissan is big on community. That's why we've teamed up with the Mia Ledbetter Foundation and the Wenatchee Lighthouse. From now until the end of November, bring your food donations to Town Nissan and help us fill this truck for the Lighthouse Food Bank. For every truckload we fill, Town Nissan will donate $500 to the Mia Ledbetter Foundation. Town Nissan has a history of giving back, and this time it's even bigger. Let's make this the Valley's largest food drive ever. Town Nissan is located right behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back. 21 minutes after the hour, the ever-widening world of sports. The Wenatchee High School girls bowling team off to a good start. They won a league match yesterday. They defeated Sunnyside 4-0. Coach Jeremy Anders tells us that Kyla Hankins rolled a 208 and a 202 to lead the Panthers. Kayla Musgrove also did well. She rolled a 177 and a 168. Wenatchee outscoring the Grizzlies in the total pin count as well, 1,705 to 1,405. The Panthers have one more match before the holiday. They have a trip to Minda Lanes today to take on Ellensburg at 3:30. With the travel conditions, they may not actually be playing that match. Eastmont, by the way, is off until next Tuesday when they'll host Moses Lake. Good news for you Wenatchee Wild fans. An announcement yesterday, former Wenatchee player Sam Morton coming back to the team. Morton is a 20-year-old forward. He played for the Wild in the 2016-2017 and 2017-2018 seasons. He played the last season and a half at Union College. He's expected to return to Wenatchee early next month. He plans to transfer to another NCAA school for the 2021 season. Morton was a member of the Wenatchee Wild that won the Fred Page Cup and the Doyle Cup championship back in 2017. So while the team awaits Morton's arrival, they'll be back at the Town Toyota Center. They got two games. They got a game Friday and a game Saturday. The Ninoma Clippers will be in town Friday at 7:05. The Langley Rivermen will be in town Saturday also at 7:05. Earlier this week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Art Checker and David Rayfield join me to talk about how you can help a very worthy cause this weekend.
Kind of a joint sponsorship with Works and Les Schwab as we kick off our toy drive. So that'll basically be the whole theme of the weekend, is giving back to the community, as we like to do a lot here with the Wenatchee Wild and our sponsors. But with Works and Les Schwab, we're going to be doing a toy drive for all ages. So stop by your local shops, whether anywhere basically, and bring a toy, whether it's Legos, skateboards, bikes, basketballs, footballs, whatever you can donate, we'd love to have, and we'll be accepting those at the front. And we'll be doing on Friday night, we're doing our third Town Toyota car shootout. So that'll be a qualifying round. The final shot will take place the last game of the season. So we'll be running that qualifier, and yeah, basically a lot of toys being donated. So we're hoping to kick off this holiday season with a bang.
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy weekend for the folks at Les Schwab and the volunteers who put on the toy drive. They'll be at the Wild Game Friday night. They'll be at Hooked on Toys on Saturday, pretty much all day, and then right back at the Town Toyota Center on Saturday night. Seahawks defense finally found their footing, of course, over the last couple of days, turning in 8 quarterback sacks, forced 8 turnovers. Coach Pete Carroll said it's been a long time coming.
We've been waiting, kind of waiting on to see if it would show, and the aggressiveness and the attack at the line of scrimmage is really taking an uptick, and we're getting the kind of activity that bothers the quarterbacks and forces the quarterbacks into mistakes and errors, and that's why the ball's been coming our way. As always, that's always the case, and so we're going to keep going, keep working it, and I like that. We've been able to continue to move the alignments around, and play guys in different spots, and JD forced us to do a couple other things, and Griff coming up and helping us a little bit, and we saw Ziggy play better, and Quentin Jefferson his play in the last 2 weeks was a factor. He's a good football player that we missed for the couple weeks he was gone. So it's also leading us to seeing more activity on the back end. We have 14 pass defense last couple weeks, and those are real good numbers too. So you can see how it feeds off of one another. When you take that and you run the ball for a bunch of yards, and we know we respected the heck out of, again, the last 2 weeks of defensives that we played, we're getting the production that gives us a chance to run the football and play good D. That combination has always been successful, and so we're happy to see that happen, and we'd like to keep riding it all throughout the end of the season.
Defensive end Ziggy Ansah has been a high-price question mark so far this season. Of course, he signed a 1-year, $9 million contract We got him from Detroit, and then he got injured. He's missed 5 games this year, but he had his best game of the year by far against Philly last weekend. And Coach Carroll says he wants Ziggy to just keep right on improving.
He was aggressive. He's always played with really good effort. He was more aggressive and physical. He was able to break through some protection. Was on the quarterback. You know, we lose out the stats on the play, the great sack he had, and forced fumble too. He just was more effective in all ways, but he was more stout, and it just looks like he was just at a better level of the physical side of things, and it's great to see. So he's really, you know, he's part of the rotations, the starting rotations, and he's just contributing. He's a good ball player. He's still a young kid, you know, and he's still learning and is going to improve. I would love to see him keep taking the steps like we saw Quentin Jefferson kind of get better. And you know, this is like, I think probably year 4 for Quinn. That we'll just see him continue to get better and be more effective. He's got a lot of talent. He's got quickness and he's got reach and he plays hard and he's playing smart football. So it's just a matter of just putting it together. So I think he can keep growing.
Seahawks and Vikings Monday Night Football, 5:15 kickoff on ESPN. And of course, we can't forget about the Rock'em Sock'em football war that is the Apple Cup. It'll be on Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock, Husky Stadium in Seattle. It's actually only officially been the Apple Cup since 1962, so it would be the 58th Apple Cup. But we don't, you know, we're not going to parse words here. We're not going to gild the lily because the two teams have been playing back to 1900. Huskies lead the all-time series 73-32-6. They've won the last 6 in a row. We'll hear from both coaches on the matchup of a couple of 6 and 5 teams during the evening news tonight with Eric on the NCW Life Channel. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday. Look at the snow come down. 27 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday. Today is National Tie One On Day, and no, I'm not talking about going out and getting crazy and drinking too much. I'm talking about the apron. Yeah, the apron. Because, of course, the big Thanksgiving meal, most of the prep work, if you're smart, you're going to do some of this stuff today. You're supposed to do as much in advance as you possibly can just to take some of the stress off cooking all that food on Thursday. The apron. Is it still a thing? My mom wore an apron all the time when she cooked. For one thing, it keeps your clothes clean. You don't want flour and sugar and stuff all over your apron. And of course, aprons have big pockets. You can put all kinds of stuff in aprons, you know, eggs, vegetables, toys, whatever. I wear an apron when I cook. If I'm going to cook a big meal with a lot of different ingredients, lots of spices and whatever, it's just common sense to wear an apron. I mean, why get stuff all over yourself? I don't have any problem wearing an apron. I don't know if people still wear aprons when they cook much anymore. So when we talk about National Tie One On Day, it's a tribute to the apron. There you go. The internet told me. 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history. This is the 95th anniversary of the largest parade in the world. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was held for the very first time. That was the advertisement that was in the New York Times following the day after the very first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 1924 on this date. And it said it was such a huge event that we've decided to make it an annual event. And it has been ever since. In fact, it is now the largest parade in the world. About 3 million, a little over 3 million people line the streets of Manhattan to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The first one was in 1924. The famous character balloons, an iconic part of the parade, were introduced in 1927. From 1927 to 1932, at the end of the parade, the people who handle the balloons, the balloon handlers, you know what they did with the balloons? They just let them go. They would just float up into the sky. They decided not to do that anymore. There was one year in the 1960s where there was a helium shortage and they couldn't blow the balloons up with helium. They just had to use air. So what they did is that they used ropes and they put the balloons between 2 ginormous cranes and they just towed them down the street. You got to make do with it. By the way, Macy's is the number 2 consumer of helium in the world behind the United States. Now, the weather forecast for New York City tomorrow, specifically Manhattan, is calling for very strong gusty winds. And if it's really, really windy, and they think it might be, they're not going to let them do the balloons. We could have a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade without the iconic character balloons tomorrow. I'll keep a close eye on that. But the first one was held on this date 95 years ago. 48 years ago today, the very first man-made object ever to land on Mars landed on Mars, and it wasn't us. Nope, it was the Soviet Union. It was the Mars 2 orbiter. It released its descent module. It malfunctioned. It crashed. It's still up there. They don't even know where it's at. They know it's still up there, but they were first. So the very first man-made object to reach the surface of Mars reached the surface of Mars in a bunch of little pieces on this date, November 27th, 1971. November 27th, 1973, 46 years ago today, for the first and only time, the 25th Amendment went into effect when Gerald Ford started the process of becoming the Vice President of the United States. The United States Senate voted 92-3 to confirm Gerald Ford as Vice President of the United States. On December 6th, the House would vote to confirm Gerald Ford as Vice President of the United States. Of course, Gerald Ford is the only man in history to serve as both Vice President and President without being elected to either office. That process began on this date 46 years ago today. And normally we would never talk about somebody's bar mitzvah, right? I mean, who cares? But on November 27, 2005, Elizabeth Brooks turned 13 and she had her bar mitzvah. It took place at the Rainbow Room in beautiful Midtown Manhattan. The only reason I bring it up is that her dad spent $10 million on her bar mitzvah. $10 million. The musical acts included Tom Petty, Aerosmith, Don Henley, Joe Walsh, Stevie Nicks, and 50 Cent. 50 Cent alone was paid $500,000 to perform 4 songs. The party cost $10 million. Happy bar mitzvah, Elizabeth Brooks. Thanks, Dad. That's today in history. Finally, some birthdays. Remember Cal Worthington? Hi, I'm Cal Worthington. It's my dog Spot. Spot, of course, was never a dog. It was an elephant or a chimpanzee or a bear. He was his Cal Worthington car dealership ads were everywhere in the 1970s. He was born on this date in 1920, lived to the age of 92. He was very, very successful. By the mid-1990s, Cal Worthington was the largest single owner of a car dealership anywhere, with over $300 million in annual sales. And of course, he never owned a car. He would just go to one of his many, many lots all over the western United States and just, I'll take that one and drive that car around for a little bit. Cal Worthington, one of the characters, was born in the state in 1920. The greatest guitarist of all time, Jimi Hendrix, born and raised, of course, in Seattle. He was born in the state in 1942, died at the age of 27 in 1970. The greatest guitarist ever, period. The 4 original Jimi Hendrix albums that came out during his lifetime are all must-haves in any record collection. He, of course, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1992. I'll listen to some Jimi Hendrix before this day is over. And happy 64th birthday to Bill Nye, the science guy. He was actually a mechanical engineer at Boeing, was making pretty good money. And then one day at a tavern, in 1978, he won a Steve Martin look-alike contest, decided he'd like to make people laugh. So during the day, he would go to work at Boeing, he'd go home and take a nap. And then at night, he'd go do stand-up comedy and became more known for that than anything else. Of course, he was a staple on the television show Almost Live and Bill Nye the Science Guy, which was taped at the PBS studios in Seattle. Bill Nye is 64 years old today. 34 minutes after the hour. This is my last chance to talk about Campbell's and the destination deal. They do it twice a year. They do it in March before the tourists come, and they do it in November when the tourists are all gone. So this is the time of year to spend some nice quiet time up at Lake Chelan. It's the destination deal. It's for locals only. You just have to prove that you live in the North Central Washington area, and you can get a room at Campbell's starting at just $95 a night. Starting at just $95 a night, but you're down to just the last few days to take advantage of this. So get out of town, get up to beautiful Lake Chelan, relax at Campbell's, have a gourmet meal, a couple bottles of wine, enjoy the holiday festivities up there in beautiful Lake Chelan. And again, the Campbell's destination deal, room starting at just $95 a night. Just give Campbell's a call. Tell them you're local. They'll take care of you from there. Campbell's been in business for 118 years. I also want to mention, of course, the Les Schwab Toy Drive. It is back for the 3rd big year. We got a whole bunch of new sponsors and a whole bunch of nonprofits that's going to be benefiting from that. Take a list. That's all the great organizations, and they all do really good work. They're going to be the organizations that are going to be getting all of the toys that we hope you donate. And you can start the process this Saturday. We'll be broadcasting live. Eric, our very own Eric Granston, will be there, and our good friend Brent Rhodes from Country 104.7. They'll be hanging around. Live broadcast at Hooked on Toys this Saturday from 10 to 11. And this will go, of course, all through the holiday season. We are very happy to be a part of it, and special thanks to Les Schwab for leading the way and all of our sponsors for hopping on board. We appreciate it. Good stuff indeed. Normally we do Kennel Cameos on Thursday, but trust me, Megan and I ain't going to be here tomorrow. We're going to do Kennel Cameos one day early. Rocky the dog needs a home. Here you go.
Megan here with the NCW Life Channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Rocky is joining us this week. Can you tell us about Rocky?
Yes, Rocky is about 10 months old. He came here with his sister Ella. Ella got adopted a little while ago, and so we're just waiting for Rocky here to get his home. He is a jolly, fun fella. He went to the Wenatchee Wilds Pucks and Paws with us. He was great with people, other dogs. He loves playgroup here. He is in our, like what we call our rough and rowdy playgroup because he is so young, and so probably he'd be a little much for like an older dog, but he gets along great with his big playgroup here that like to run and tumble, and he's great with kids. He's a medium with cats, so we're kind of unknown on cats. But overall, this guy is just so awesome. We just don't know why you haven't gotten a home yet. You know?
And what should someone do if they're interested in adopting
They
him?
should come on down and meet Rocky. He is ready to go. It helps too if you understand the husky breed too, because he does need to get exercise. He also needs a place where he could be contained too, so he doesn't escape. Right? Hi.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
Let Fitterers Furniture help you turn your dreams into reality with their exciting selection of quality furnishing and accessories. Whatever style you are looking for, you will find beautifully crafted furniture of exceptional value and the unmatched Fitterers customer service to make this shopping experience one you will keep coming back to. Make a point of visiting Fitterers Furniture in downtown Ellensburg.
Quality selection and service since 1896.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Come find your holiday gifts at Antique Mall at Cashmere this holiday season. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone, from coin enthusiasts to avid collectors. For do-it-yourselfers, this is the place to find your next repurposing project. What a great way to make your holiday gifts for someone special. Using your keen eye to make something old and new again. Discover your next holiday gift in the Antique Mall at Cashmere. Stop on by today.
Mike, Mad Dog McNulty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I recently heard some right-wing evangelical promoting a book he wrote that supposedly compares Donald Trump with persons in the Old Testament. Sure, Trump is a rough character, this Jamoke states, but so was King David, and so were many of the others, the patriarchs. This position, of course, being presented to try to justify Donald Trump as God's man of the hour. I don't think so. Now, sure, King David was even more despicable in his behavior than our current president. I admit that. But to try to justify Trump's shortcomings by using the Old Testament, no, for many reasons. Frankly, there's no better source on how not to behave than by looking at some of the men in the Bible. I mean, it's honestly. To try to justify Trump in this manner, I don't think so. This is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and that's my opinion.
Why run all over town when you can get the financial services you need under one roof? The location is 521 Chelan Street right here in Wenatchee. Accounting solutions for success. Insurance from trusted choices. Real estate, the power of the edge. Personal, professional, preferable. It's all right here. Get the edge on your financial needs. Now available in Chelan as well. Get more information at augustedge.com.
We're here because of the children, because the children need to be protected. Their needs aren't being met.
They didn't ask for any of this stuff. It's not their choices that got them here.
The more adults that a child has that love them, the better off they are.
Children need a whole community to raise them. And if we can do any little thing, it makes a big difference in the child's life.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're up here at the corner of 5th and Western at the Seventh-day Adventist Church. They are back. They took a year off. They took a year hiatus. But the Journey to Bethlehem, which has now become a Wenatchee Valley Christmas tradition, is back again this year, bigger and better than ever. Introduce yourself to our television family, young lady.
My name is Renee Ressler. I'm the Assistant Director and Costume Director for Journey to Bethlehem.
How much direction do you do, Renee, in the Journey to Bethlehem? Because it's not like it's a play, it's not a show, it's not a musical. So,
for my job, it seems like it's a lot of putting out fires, but no, it's just it's more about organization. It's about the preparation for it, and then helping answer questions as the production gets closer, and we do rehearsals, and then of course during the production, because things always happen.
Yeah, they always do. Well, for one thing, you're dealing with live animals, and then they have their own little way of doing things.
And live people.
And live people, too, who also have their own way of doing things. I might add that as well. Now, again, the Journey to Bethlehem took a year off last year. The amount of man hours and volunteer hours are ginormous, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. You took the year off, but it's back again this year. So what number? I want to say this is the 10th or 11th. I'm trying to remember how many of these Journey to Bethlehem.
Well, this would be the 10th year, but it's the 9th production because we took last year off.
Right. Okay. Okay. Tell me about the genesis of this. Go back a decade or 11 or 12 years ago. How did this Journey to Bethlehem thing come to be?
Well, it didn't originate with us. There were other churches that were doing this production, and so they talked to us, and we invited them over and just kind of had a question and answer period of time, and it just seemed like a really exciting thing to try and do here in the Valley. So Yakima was one of them, and Kelso Longview was another one who really kind of mentored us along in the process and even helped give us original starting scripts, and then we had to tweak them and make them fit our site, basically. So so that's how it got started. And then we just started asking people to volunteer, and all the churches got on board, all the Seventh-day Adventist churches got on board, and so it went from there.
What we're doing is we're actually standing outside the gates to the Journey of Bethlehem. We're not going to show you inside because, well, quite frankly, it's not ready yet, is it?
It's not. It's kind of a mess right now.
Which is, but it's part of the excitement.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's parts and pieces, and it's coming together.
So there's there's over 150 actors and actresses, right, who take part in this, and then there's behind-the-scenes people. So all told, how many volunteers make this happen?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure I've added it up. We have right now 150 people cast, and we haven't finished casting the production. And then I would say there's probably 50 people who are here the weekend of the production in the background helping. And then now, every weekend on Sunday mornings, we have people who are building. And so that's probably between 10 and 20 every week. So, you know, add all that up, and that's what you've got.
Does it work get easier now that you've done so many of these? You've done 8, this will be the 9th, so people kind of know their role. They know how to build this set or that barn or that corral. Is it
definitely? Yes, definitely. Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is actually behind the gate that we can't see?
Well, there is basically a road that goes and it meanders through the town. So there are shops on either side of that road, and that is what goes from here to the back of the school gymnasium.
And it's interactive.
It's interactive, yes. Yeah. In a normal play, the audience sits back, and the scenes on the stage change. In this one, the audience walks through the scenes, and so they're the ones who are going to the destinations.
And they go, are they staggered, so you send in X amount of people per time, and
yes.
So they get through that?
We try to keep the groups to about 20, 25, and there's a group that goes through every 5 minutes.
And so how long does it take to go from the gates to the manger? I guess I'm assuming it ends at the manger. I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's been a few years.
Right.
So.
We start in the Family Life Center in the church, and as soon as they exit here, this is the first station. So it's 40 minutes outside. And then once you get back into the school, you go and there's hot chocolate and cookies and things to kind of warm up again after being outside.
Do you have some right now? That sounds pretty
You
good.
know, I'm sorry I didn't plan ahead. I didn't do that. I'm so sorry.
Is a lot of people playing the same roles in years past as far as in their portraying their various biblical character?
Good question. There are people who love the roles that they are playing, and they ask to come back every year. There are people who have moved around the village and have done various things. So we have a little bit of both. I would say primarily we have people who get into a role and really like it and stay there. But then you have people who just aren't available one year, and so then we get, then there's other people who come in. So which is exciting too, because that changes the dynamic.
And what really changes, what really is exciting, and I know it sounds silly, because they don't really have to do this. You actually have live animals. You have sheep. And you have a camel. You gotta have a camel. Of course.
Yes.
How does that work?
Well, it's a ranch, if you want to call it ranch, for camel and reindeer in Reardon.
Okay.
And so they just rent out camels, and so they come and deliver the camel and pick her up afterwards.
So camels are known for their somewhat difficult disposition. Is this a professional camel, so to speak? So it's not going to spit and rear up. And
right. We really haven't had that much trouble with the camels. They, some of them are. Some years, they have moods, I guess, just like any other animal. So some years they're really interactive, and some years they just want to stay back. So, but no, we haven't. I mean, it's kind of fun, but I don't know that you train a camel. I really don't think you do.
What does a camel eat, by the way?
I don't do the animals. I'm allergic to animals. I have no idea what the answer to that question is.
Going back 10 years, do you have any idea how popular this was going to become? Because it was like, you never really know until you try it the first time. And of course, the first year was like, okay, people want to come. Our crowds were huge. Yes. We got to figure out a way to make this bigger and better because people are going to come. Did you have any idea this was going to be this successful?
We did not.
Yeah.
We had no idea. I think that very first year we were all a little shell-shocked and exhausted when it was done. And so that at that point is when we decided to go to 2 shifts because we knew in order to handle the crowds of people who wanted to come through, we needed to extend the night. And since it's winter time, that can be a hard thing. So we now have 2 shifts
and
of all the
actors need to
positions.
take some breaks and stuff like that. I mean, it's that kind of stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you are a major speaking part, for instance, the Roman Guards, if you're in the first shift, there is no break until first shift is over because you have groups coming through every 5 minutes.
And now, are you in charge of the logistical part of that? I mean, as the director, or?
No, that's more under Glenn.
Okay. And
yes.
Glenn didn't want to do the show. Don't know why.
Well,
he's obviously seen it.
Glenn, he has, but he had some other obligations today. So, yeah, it's important that we stay on that timing for the same reason. There's a lot of people that want to get through, and if we are going to get them through and not have them wait for a long, long time, then we need to be responsible to keep it on track.
And this is maybe the most critical part of all, and it's indicative of the success of the Journey to Bethlehem. You can now go online and reserve your space in line in advance, which is just a capital idea. So how do the folks go about doing that? So they know at this point, at this time, I'll be in there and I'll be able to get in and do the journey.
J2bwenatchee.org.
So the letter J, the number 2.
Number 2.
I'm doing this backwards. The letter B, Wenatchee.org, and
yes.
it just pops right up.
Yes, and you can reserve your tickets. Now, a lot of the tickets are already gone.
Ooh.
However, don't worry about that. We don't reserve every single time slot in the evening. So
You don't want to turn anybody away.
No, we don't. And so the doors are open from 5:30 to 8:30. Anybody who is here by 8:30 goes through the village. And so come at 5 o'clock. Actually, you can come at 5, get your reserved spot. Take your tickets, and if say your time slot is at 8:45, go home and have dinner and come back again. Yeah. So it's not like you have to come in the door and sit for 3 hours. However, we do have great Christmas music in the sanctuary the whole evening. So you'll be
nice and warm in there.
Yes.
And then you come out, and you need to dress appropriately. This is
important.
important.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dress for the weather because you are fully exposed.
Anything else we need to touch on? First of all, I'm excited the Journey to Bethlehem is back. I was kind of disappointed last year. I guess I need to ask you, how come you just needed to take a break for a year for the Journey to Bethlehem?
We had 3 main leadership team members who had just some big stuff going on in their lives, and it was just a really bad time. Things were coming together at the same time. So we decided, we had done it for 8 years. It wasn't a bad thing to take a break anyway. And we really didn't think we could pull off the production without them. So we took a time out.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Now you're fresh and renewed and you're ready to go get them again.
And I think everybody was, okay with that because we fully intended to come back. Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad it's back.
Yeah, thank you. Me too.
The popularity of the Journey to Bethlehem is blows me away. It's just incredible.
It is.
How many people really like it? They really do. So the website again to reserve your place in line is the letter J, the number 2, the letter B, and then Wenatchee.org. Click on it and get them while the tickets are hot. Because again, here's a question: how much does it cost?
It is free.
Free.
There is no cost.
Have you ever thought about? Like just charging like $1 and giving it to a food bank or something, because people will pay it. People will pay $5.
Yeah, people offer every year for a donation, and we appreciate that. We really do. But the Seventh-day Adventist Church wanted this to be a gift to the community, just as Jesus Christ was a free gift. So if you want to give something, then choose your favorite charity, your favorite organization in town, and give to them. That would thrill us.
Absolutely. Journey to Bethlehem is coming up December. Give me the dates one more time.
5 to 8.
5, 6, 7, and 8. And it's back, and I can't tell you how excited I am. Let's take just a quick peek.
I actually can't get in there.
Oh, okay. Megan, do you have a bolt cutter on your pants, Megan? No. Okay. It's good to see you, and looking forward to it.
Thank you.
And thanks for allowing us to come out and get out of the office for a little while.
Well, thanks for coming.
Anytime.
Good to chat.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Aaron Lindholm, the executive director at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista in Wenatchee, gives us an overview of the campus and the services they offer.
So Colonial Vista was built back in 1968. So the great thing about our product here in Wenatchee is we really do have a continuum of care from independent living to assisted living, long-term care, rehab, and so we're really able to take care of our residents right here on campus. And we look at this as our residents' home, and we're honored to serve them in their home each and every day.
Call today for your tour.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley, from the staff at Collins Fashions. Christy, Heidi, Georgia, Julene, Judy, and I, we are your Brighton headquarters for the Valley, and we are here to assist you with your personal and gift-giving needs of jewelry, handbags, sunglasses, etc. We carry your favorite brands such as Tommy Bahama, Karen Kane, Tribal, Jag, Nick and Zoe, Joseph Ribkop, foundations from Spanx and Shapies, cute, comfortable shoes and sandals. Our staff will style you head to toe at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
As we prepare our feasts of Thanksgiving, settle in for the game, connect with loved ones from across the country or across the table, Localtel wants you to know we are grateful for the communities we share, for our dedicated local employees, and most of all for the customers we serve. Thank you and happy Thanksgiving from your friends and neighbors at Localtel.
We're back here from Studio 5 here in downtown Wenatchee. Let's take a look at that very important weather forecast, and we'll take it to the passes one more time as well. Blewett remains close. So we have a winter weather advisory. It's in effect as we speak. It should expire at about midnight tonight. So we're looking at blowing snow for the Wenatchee Valley proper. A couple of inches, the upper elevations around the Wenatchee Valley, the East Wenatchee Bench, and maybe even up in Chelan, that kind of area. You could get up to 4 inches in the Waterville Plateau. 6 to 7 inches. In addition to that, it's going to be windy. It's going to be a very windy Wednesday. In fact, we even have a graphic to show you from the National Weather Service to let you know how strong the winds are going to be and where they're coming from. It looks something like that. These are your wind gusts. The wind today will be pretty consistent. Again, it's blowing from the northeast to the southwest. A good, consistent 16, 17, 18 miles an hour. We'll have gusts in the valley above 30 miles an hour at times. The Waterville Plateau could see gusts as high as 55 miles an hour. It's going to be very difficult traveling conditions, especially up in the Waterville Plateau, and also between Chelan and Wenatchee on either side of the river, 97A or 97. Not so much with the snow sticking to the roadway. On the heavily traveled roadways, it's really not sticking, but it's blowing around, and it's going to be blowing around for quite some time. It's happening as we speak. So snow today. It's going to get heavier before it gets lighter, especially this afternoon. It's not a big, heavy snowstorm, but it's going to be blowing around. Again, a couple of inches near the Columbia River. The higher up you go, the more snow you're going to get, and it's going to be windy all day today. Look at that high temperature, only 32 degrees. That's it. Snow should be tapering off in the overnight hours tonight. It's still going to be blustery, though. Winds will be dying down a little bit. Overnight low of about 22. You'll wake up tomorrow morning with a little bit of light snow. It's possible. The good news on Thursday, no real wind at all, but it's not going to be particularly sunny. In fact, no sun at all tomorrow. And a high of about 32 degrees on Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving night, the clouds will start out, and then gradually it'll clear out. And by the time you wake up Friday morning, it'll be clear. 14 for the overnight low. Very cold air coming down from Canada with this storm system. Friday, lots of sunshine for Black Friday and a high of 31. That's it. We'll top off at 32 on Saturday. Again, bountiful sunshine. And then another weak storm system comes in on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's going to warm us up. Chance of snow goes down. Whatever snow we get is going to be melting because we'll be in the mid to upper 30s with quite a bit of cloud cover for the Thanksgiving holiday, at least, for the Thanksgiving weekend, at least on Saturday and Sunday. After sunshine on Thursday and Friday. Once again, we are off tomorrow. We got Thanksgiving off, and Megan and I will be here on Friday. We're just not going to work real hard. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you Friday. Bye-bye.